The Huntingburg City Council gets the results of a recent survey. We'll have more on that. Plus, changes are on the way for how you check out books at your local library. More on that. And Tri-County YMCA Executive Director Mike Steffi is tonight's guest on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. Well, the results are now in for citywide trash pickup in Huntingburg. Last night, the Huntingburg City Council received those results from the surveys. The surveys were done in partnership with a research team at the University of Southern Indiana in Evansville. Dr. Mary Halleck Morris told the council that more than 2,000 surveys in all were sent out and more than 500 people responded. The data from the surveys shows that 50% of those who responded were interested in citywide trash pickup. 40% said that things were going well the way they currently are. However, more interest was shown in the idea of citywide recycling. The surveys showed that almost 60% of residents were interested in a citywide recycling program. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spenner says getting that much public input on the issue will be helpful for the city going forward.
We feel that while a split on the decision maybe they think, well, what's the value of the survey? It was very valuable. It showed us that there is some satisfaction with where we're going, but if we look at options going forward, there are things that we can look at.
The council will now look into options for a citywide recycling effort. A proposal is set to be brought back to the council at a later meeting. Also last night, Spenner addressed concerns about the ongoing work with the city's South Side water tower. The city has received some complaints from residents who are experiencing low water pressure due to the water tank being emptied out. Spenner says city water crews are working to help people through everything.
There are steps being made to maybe make the situation a little bit better. If anyone has problems that they need questions on or help with, please do contact the city, and our water crews will be out to see if there's anything they can do to assist you through this situation.
The South Side tank is being inspected, cleaned, and painted. A new water freshening mixer is also being installed to improve water quality. Spenner says that project is expected to be done within 45 days. In other news this evening, an exchange of text messages led to a fight at a Huntingburg residence, and one man was taken into custody. Just after 4:20 yesterday afternoon, Huntingburg police were called to a residence in the 100 block of North Washington Street due to a fight that was in progress. Police say Bruce Blount and 33-year-old Jeroy Robinson, both of Huntingburg, had gotten into a fight over text message. Blount then showed up at Robinson's residence and got out of the vehicle with a knife. Robinson then shut and locked his door, but Blount went to a window and cut the screen with the knife. He then opened the window to get into the residence. Robinson then found a hammer and threw it at Blount. The hammer broke out the window and Blount came inside, where a fight ensued over the knife. Police say both Blount and Robinson were injured during the altercation. They also found a 20-gauge shotgun in the front seat of Blount's vehicle. Blount was taken into custody and booked into the Du Bois County Security Center. He is facing charges for battery, aggravated battery, and residential entry. A wrecker towed Blount's vehicle away from the scene. The Du Bois County Sheriff's Department and Du Bois County Ambulance Service also assisted. An investigation into living conditions for 6 children found a clandestine drug lab and landed a Shoals man behind bars on felony charges. At about 10:30 yesterday morning, Indiana State Police and the Indiana Department of Child Services went to a residence in the 800 block of Linwood Drive in Shoals based on a complaint about those living conditions. As they went through the home, a clandestine dimethyltryptamine lab was found. The drug is more commonly known as DMT. Authorities also found hash oil and other drug paraphernalia in the home. Now, DMT is a hallucinogen that is naturally found in some types of South American plants. It also can be synthesized in a lab and is classified as a Schedule I controlled substance. The owner of the home, 34-year-old Christopher Couchman, was present and was taken into custody without incident. He was lodged in the Martin County Jail, and state police say 2 other suspects will be charged in this case pending arrest warrants being issued by Martin County Circuit Court. Couchman is facing a Class D felony for possession of hash oil, a Class B felony for manufacturing a Schedule I controlled substance, and a Class A misdemeanor for possession of paraphernalia. The 6 children were taken out of the home by the Department of Child Services. None of them were home at the time of the investigation, as all of them were at school. On a related note, officials with the Indiana State Police Meth Suppression Section say this might be the first time that a DMT lab has been seized in southern Indiana, since its usage is somewhat rare. Anyone with any information about the manufacturing or sale of illegal drugs and substances in their area can call the State Police Meth Hotline. That number is 1-800-453-4756. Folks checking out materials at their local library will soon notice a change in the process. Last night, the DuBois County Contractual and Jasper Public Library Boards voted to draft a new circulation policy at the libraries. Library Director Rita Douthit told the boards that libraries have started taking photos when new library cards are issued. They also have been asking for driver's license numbers or some sort of ID card before checking materials out. Parents' IDs have been requested in the case of materials being checked out for kids. Douthit says the process is designed to protect people from stolen cards. She also says keeping track of one's library card is key to avoiding problems.
They don't report that it's stolen or it's lost, and then it gets used. We don't know that. We don't have any account that that card was lost, missing, stolen, or whatever. We can only assume that you check those materials out, and therefore we're coming to you.
The board directed Douthit and Attorney Bill Schoenfeld to come up with a draft of a policy in time for next month's meeting. Also last night, the Jasper Library Board heard an update on the building committee's progress. That committee met for the first time on Tuesday, and Brad Ward was chosen as the committee's chairperson. Douthit stated that the opening meeting went well, and a lot of it was just making sure that everyone understood the process of these meetings. The next two meetings for the building committee will be held on Tuesdays. The first will be May 20th, and the other will be on June 3rd. Both meetings are set to go from 6:15 till 8 p.m. at the Jasper Library Annex. Two local teachers have been honored with the Peabody Leaders in Education Award. Yesterday, Stacy Kapner and Robin Small were each presented $1,000 checks from Peabody Energy as part of their awards. Kapner is a third grade teacher at Huntingburg Elementary, while Small teaches second grade at Ireland Elementary. Kapner has worked in the Southwest DuBois School District since 1994. In a news release, Peabody officials say Kapner's leadership by example was the biggest reason why she was chosen for the award. Meanwhile, company officials say Small was honored for her new ideas and the energy she brings to the classroom. Small has taught at Ireland Elementary for the past 3 years. The Peabody Energy Leaders in Education program honors teachers in communities across the states where Peabody Energy operates. Those are Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, and Wyoming. A special event took place in the city of Huntingburg. This morning, the first Latino Summit was held at the Huntingburg Event Center. The event was also the first of its kind to be held in DuBois County. The event was hosted by the city in partnership with M.G. Robinson Incorporated. Maura Robinson with M.G. Robinson spoke during this morning's summit. Her speech focused largely on the economic impact of Latinos as well as unity between the Latino and white communities. Robinson says that unity is becoming more and more important as there is a need locally to grow the workforce.
Really, in this area, we're probably on the 6th generation of the Latino population, but we have never really thought of them as integral part of the community. Now, because our workforce is really trying to get more workers, we're looking at the Latinos as that population to help, especially those entry-level positions.
Robinson says the purchasing power of Latinos is also a big factor in economic growth in any area. Reverend Dennis Robinson, OSB with the School of Seminary and Theology at St. Meinrad Arch Abbey, also spoke this morning. In his speech, the Reverend focused on the Latino population as it relates to the Catholic Church. He says finding enough competent ministers to meet the Latino population's needs has become a bit of a challenge. Reverend Robinson also says making Latinos feel welcome is very important.
I think one of the main ways that we can overcome those challenges is very simply through hospitality. In our parishes, in our communities, I think it's very important for us to welcome those who are new, those who may not even be staying here forever, but to welcome them and to make them a part of our community and to really let them know that they have a home here.
Cheryl Stanton with the Southwest DuBois School Corporation and Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner also spoke during the summit. Now, several businesses and organizations signed on to sponsor the event. Those included Vincennes University Jasper Campus, German American Bank, and Toyota Manufacturing of Indiana. Finally tonight, funeral services were held earlier today for retired Major General Robert Mitchell of Jasper. Those services took place over at the National Guard Armory. Mitchell passed away this past Sunday at the age of 77. He served as the Adjutant General of the Indiana Army and Air National Guard from 1997 through 2001. In all, he served in the military for nearly 50 years. Flags at all county government offices remained lowered at half-staff through sunset today in honor of Mitchell. Mitchell was buried in the Fairview Cemetery Mausoleum. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Buchsel, and Inform with Mike Steffi. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.